Hello, and welcome everybody to a live stream with the Illusion Horror and Con. And we're here tonight to play a, uh, a scenario from the starter pack of the Broken Reflections scenario bundle, starter bundle from Kult Divinity Lost. And it is called Slaves of Hell. We'd like to thank Helmgast for allowing us to have a little sneak peek of this scenario and uh, especially letting us have this little sneak peek so that we can show you guys. And yeah, so tonight we have Ryan as our GM, and we have David also playing, and me, Crystal, will also be playing this starter pack. So, yeah, unless there's anything else, Ryan, you can take it away.
All right, cool. Thanks, Crystal. I'd like to welcome everyone to our first kind of together as the Illusion Horror Discord group together for I think it's our first stream together. So yeah, I'd like to thank you, Crystal and David, for being here today. And thanks to, as Crystal had already mentioned, Helmgast, Gabe, and the rest of them for giving us the opportunity to run this horror starter from the upcoming and yet to be released Kickstarter for Kult Divinity Lost, a horror-based system, which you probably all know already about and are excited to either watch this today with us live or further on. I think we're on YouTube too, so either or, wherever you're watching us, thank you for joining us. And yep, so the structure of this is just going to be to show for people who don't know what a horror starter is. It's kind of a if you ever had trouble as a GM or a storyteller to kind of you wanted to kind of just jump into a game and start run a story or from a story seed and just kind of jump in, get your feet wet, and just kind of go. But you're missing that inspiration. You're missing, where should I start? Well, this is meant to be in to help you do that. So it prevents. It gives the GM or storyteller tools to kind of flesh out characters that haven't been built yet. So that's you build the characters together in the beginning, and then we'll start a story based on the choices that Dave and Crystal make on who they want their players to be, based on some choices that have kind of already been built out. The choice is always theirs. So, figure they'd be about 2.5 hours. This isn't meant to be a whole kind of fleshed out scenario. It's just kind of a guide to kind of or one of the guides, depending on the kind of story you want to tell, to kind of get you going, to maybe have that more than one session of a horror story, and maybe last a good 4 or 5 or more sessions. Just depends. But yep, we're here today. This particular one was written by Pietro Nallo, the creative director of Helmgast. And yeah, we're going to start this out. And for those joining, thank you once again. And yeah, feel free to reach out in the chats. We're watching them both in Twitch and YouTube, and we'll respond in kind. Okay, Dave and Crystal, are you ready?
Yes,
I guess
sir.
so.
Okay,
Let's do this.
perfect. All right, yeah, and this one's a little bit different. Instead of playing a human in Elysium, or it's kind of takes another arc and kind of flips it. Uh, they will be playing parts of the mythos. Not going to give anything away now, but that will come clear as we kind of go out. So it's a different take in a different scenario. So just excited to get it going here. So I will stop talking and just get it going here. All right. You remember being imprisoned in a place of torture and agony. a dark world with endless labyrinths, temporal halls, altars of sacrifice, monolithic towers, and obsidian rivers. In this dark realm, you suffer through the experience of being butchered, murdered, and violated again and again by dark divine beings. Your existence was wrought in experiences of blood and terror. In this endless cycle, you were torn apart and became whole again, only to have the whole process started all over again. You experienced the unspeakable, your eyes gouged out, forced for you to eat, cracked open with razor sharp tongue that slithered down between your brain halves, a choir of voices tearing out your memories together with your steaming entrails hanging out, your limbs disjointed and broken as you are clamped fast in black machinery, you crawling like a panicked animal on the basalt floor, kissing the feet of a dark being that has always been there, swearing your service to your torturer, to your mistress, a being named Weaver, a creature like a black flame with 1,000 souls inside of her. That, for God knows how long, was all you knew. But you can't remember. You were taken away from this place. You don't know if you were hauled, summoned, or you found your way somehow out of this hell. You have no better word for it, and you have been returned to the place you came from. This place, a lost and faint memory, that place with light, electricity, people, food, and cigarettes, the city. But what remains of your former life are mere fragments, shattered memories. You hardly remember how it is to actually be human. But now you have returned. You lie there, naked, smeared in blood, on the asphalt in a basement parking garage. You have clawed yourself into this reality through the body of a homeless woman. Her suffering death made a crack big enough for you to slither through. What remains of her is just a wet pile of flesh, hair, and bone, torn fabric clothing, and a big pool of blood and shit. This is you two in this, like I said, not familiar, but familiar at the same time, like a faint memory. And there is a reason. There is a reason why you both uh, crawl back into this city of lights and sounds, and just everything just sounds familiar, smells familiar. But it's so hard to remember. So in the part of building who you are, why you're here today, I'll read kind of 3 points, and this is part of the horror start and kind of building out and fleshing out who you two are. Um, so the first question to kind of figure it out. Yeah, hopefully they lost their corn dogs in the torments of hell there, Sam. The first option, a ritual summons you, and there is a magician that holds sway over you. That's choice one. The second, you were sent by your mistress, the Nephirite Weaver, to do her bidding. Or you managed to escape the torment of hell, but your mistress will be looking to pull you back. You know you escaped. I'll leave it to you to kind of discuss and kind of feel out which way you want to kind of go with this. I'll stop talking. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the magician sounds interesting.
Definitely. Do you want to take the magician, or do you want to be the slave of our weaver?
Um, I kind of like the idea of the magician.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll take the
Well, no, we agree on one of those
Oh, okay.
themes.
Yeah, yeah. Then
Yeah.
let's take the. Oh, it's collectively we agree. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So this is to kind of keep you guys on the same arc, as opposed to kind of keeping you together in this
Okay.
story. So that's cool. All right, so all right, we'll find out in this arc. Yeah, there's someone out there who either might know you or have called you back. Who knows? But I will take note of that. All right, so that is the why, and we will discover that as we kind of keep on going. Uh, there might be some PvP out there in Twitch land. There might be. Stay tuned.
Depends on
Um,
how much David pisses me off.
I'm glad I don't live in that. I'm glad I'm not live in that household. All good. All right. The next point is what do you look like? Like who do like Crystal, who what is your
Mm,
this newborn wretched looking thing in
mhm.
Elysium / the city? What do you look like? You're
My um so crawling out of hell, um I'm going to use one of the there was a list of 4 different
Perfect.
different, I guess, people bodies that you can choose from. I'll take one and put a little bit of my own spin on it, I think.
Sure, tell us about it.
So yeah, it's she's a woman. At least she vaguely remembers being a woman at some point. Uh, her lips, I think her lips and eyelids are cut off, or maybe not cut off, but they were removed somehow. So she's just always grinning, and her eyes are always wide. And yeah, there's wounds, deep leaking wounds all over the body. I would assume that those wounds are from the various torture, as well as just simply crawling and crawling my way out of hell. Maybe my no longer have fingernails. Um, my fingers have been rubbed to the bone, just trying to get myself out.
So you
Something was calling to me.
just a regular Monday then.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
in this economy.
Nice. All right. We'll flesh that out a little bit more as we kind of get going here. I appreciate that. Dave, what do you
Yeah,
look like?
I think I'll go with the well, high schooler teenage physique of a young lad who, well, he feels his skin and it feels rough, but somehow his it's more like the seeing in the dark when you believe that you can see, because where his eyes once were, just dark hollow spots define the void that is not only his soul but maybe the events that he has seen in hell itself. His body is definitely covered with these protruding um, nail-like metallic shards that are kind of protruding now in various places through his skin as he crawled up into Elysium. His body is certainly tormented and has definitely seen better days.
All right. I think these are 2 great descriptions of 2 pieces of shit that were crawled back out of hell. Let's see. All right. So we have a physical description. We have a reason why you're here. Next in these horror starters, you each are giving you have a pick of 4 memories to kind of who you are, or sorry, in this case, who you were before you went deep down and below. and I'll read them here just for people who don't have access to this, just to just to see what the choices are. The first memory. This is based on the incident, just a recollection of the incident that kind of brought you into hell, or in this case, inferno. First option: white tiles, spattered in red, and smell of iron. Choice 2: the smell of dank soil and a circle carved in a wooden floor. Number 3: the taste of raw flesh and the sound of machinery. And the final one: a feeling of fear and of failure in the cold night air. Crystal, which one of those sounds satisfying?
I think the first one, the white tiles splashed with blood.
Okay, so at this moment, as you're kind of you're crawling out of this poor soul's body, drenched in blood, fingernailless, and with those other nicely descriptions, you stand there in your naked form, and you just remember these white tiles spattered in red and a smell of iron. Perfect. Dave, what about you?
I think I'll go with the damp smell and the circle in the ground.
All right. Kind of the same for you, with your kind of gaping eye holes. You're putting your jaw around, it kind of cracks back into place, or it might not. You picked the smell of dank soil and the circle carved in the wooden floor. All right. Like I said, these are faint or distant memories, but it is there. Okay, now to give some more flavor, each one of you has a certain kind of tick or behavior that comes from all this time, either being kind of tortured or kind of dragged through the mud. And some of those options could be a nervous laughter. You like to dissemble things and study them. You try to comfort people while you hurt them. You have a manic gaze and stare for way too long at people. Or you are very expressive when in pain, laughing or screaming very loudly. Or you can, in this case, you can give me one other if you can think of another. It kind of suits you better. Crystal, what about you?
Well, the staring intently definitely draws to me. Since I don't have eyelids anymore, I must stare intently. And I think in addition to staring intently, I still have some hair left, long brunette hair. And I think when I'm staring intently, I'm playing with it. I'm, doing
Why are pieces falling out still?
and yeah, exactly. So like big bunches of it are falling out, but like I'm trying to prune myself with my falling out hair, and maybe of any of my clothes that are still left. Like it's probably just rags pasted on, but trying to make myself presentable because that feels normal.
Well, in hell, I think you would have been beautiful.
Of course.
Up here, of course. All right,
People
perfect.
were jealous of me.
Exactly right. All right, Mr. Dave.
Can you repeat the the first two one again?
Yeah, sure. First choice would have been a nervous laughter at weird moments. Or the second one, you like to disassemble things and study them. Not necessarily put it back together, rather.
Man, I think it might be a combination of both.
Sure.
Giggling laughter as I take things apart and put them back together. maybe not as intended or not as an original
Sounds good.
composition. Yeah.
No, I think that's great. That is jotted down. All right, so we have a reason why. We have what you look like, a faint memory, nervous tick, and as you are both kind of crawl back into this city of like I said, um, foreign but still familiar at the same time. Uh, Next to this woman's body, um, this you look around and it's this ever it's this structure. There were structures down in hell. Um, Almost all of them were crumbling, decayed, or affixed with some kind of infernal machinery. But in this place, you remember that they weren't together. The machinery was not part of structures in this world. And as you stand there, um, and as you're both kind of looking down at this uh, uh, victim, this homeless lady that you both crawled through, she had some belongings. So probably consider this the equipment or what you kind of what your character kind of starts with. So as both of you stand there and look around and this as you like, your feet have that sloopy slurpy sound as you kind of lift up and walk around and just kind of have a look. And next to this woman's body and entrails, uh, you have some choices. There could be, you look down, there's a paper cup filled with $1 bills. There is also a box cutter knife. There is a necklace with a crucifix. And lastly, one only, as both of you stand there naked, dark coat that one of you may cover yourself with. But even that is full of like canvas patches and tears and other, you have the smell of like, oh, you smell that down in hell. It's like, that's BO? Is that what BO smells like? Or there might be something else around this poor soul. Uh, what do you pick up? We'll go with Dave. We'll go with David first this time. Throw a wrench in the machinery here.
I think when one wears the cross, he does not need to be covered else, because he's covered by the grace of God. So I'll take the cross, and I think it's a fitting description for his maniac giggling occasionally, and fits very well in any larger city nowadays. So yeah, I'll take that.
Do you wear it? Or do you just hang on to it?
I think yes. I would wear it, but I would potentially just, yeah, I would wear it.
Okay. When you put it on, it burns just a little. Nothing too. You guys have been through pain and torture. Yeah, kind of like a nipple piercing. Thanks, Twitch chat. That's perfect. All right, excellent. And we'll go to Crystal. What do you find around her? What do you take as you're just kind of, like I said, everything looks foreign, looks different, but familiar. Or do you try to steal the crucifix?
I think I'm pretty sure that any god I may have worshipped in the before time is long gone. I think I will. I think I'll take the coat and I'll hold it up, kind of look at it. I don't know if my nose even works anymore. Maybe it's not even there. But
Nice.
yeah, to my wide open eyes, the coat seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to put on. So I will put it on. I not even to, you know, hide any hide my nakedness. It's just I'll put it on and maybe do a weird sort of um like pose, feel the coat. Um I don't know, it feels like I should be wearing something.
Something, yes. Maybe we'll find something else. Look, it feels you put it on, it feels familiar, has that kind of weird
Yeah.
smell, but otherwise, it covers you nicely. Okay, just a few more here. Uh, what are your names?
Mm.
Some in these horror starters, like everything's pretty much fleshed out, and you have, they give you choices for each one. In this particular one, they suggest or give you a choice: jade, jasper, obsidian, sapphire, malachite. I think that's the way you pronounce that one, or something else. What are your names?
Ooh, I wanna grab malachite.
Cool.
I had a different one in mind.
Sure.
Delilah came to my mind.
Hmm.
Perfect. Hey there, Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah. I am a millennial, so.
That's all right. Me too. I think we're all millennials here. For the younger crew watching this, that's a good song. Go check it out. Delilah. All right, excellent. All right, now we have your names. Now each one of you has I'll read these ones out too because they are very nice. Each one of you has a unique ability that you've kind of either you got it that you ingested it from just the surroundings and just the horrific nature of when you're infernal, being tortured, ripped apart, and put back together, or you might have learned it from a being down there. Who knows? But you were able to grab onto a nice special skill. And there are 4 choices for this too. And feel free if you want to dress them up or change them around a little bit to kind of match what you have kind of given me so far. Feel free. Like I said, they're pretty cool. All right. So the first one is you can dress in human skin and take both the shape and the voice of the victim. But this only lasts for a day or two until it starts rotting, or unless you take a nice big old bath in blood to kind of rejuvenate the skin. That's the only way that you can stay popping fresh. The second one, you can mark a person or an object with your touch. You instinctively know how to find your way towards those who you have marked. That one's pretty cool. The third one, more tactile. You can lick a victim's blood to learn things about them, fragments of memory, or even strong sensations that they've experienced. And the last one, you can touch someone to bless them with horrific visions and sensations of the pain that you experienced and make them crawl on their feet to worship you. Sounds cool too. Or if you have another kind of idea, I am completely open. Crystal, we'll start with you first.
That first one, um,
That's
wearing
my
people's
that was my favorite too.
yeah, wearing people's skin and bathing in blood in order to keep it fresh. Um, yeah, I think that fits with Delilah and um, what she vaguely remembers as her previous life. She remembers really enjoying baths, so bathe in blood, it's same thing, right?
Definitely. Perfect. Mr. Malachite. I'll start using your names that you've chosen. Delilah.
Malachite.
I'm gonna go find some beautiful skin there, but Malachite.
Mhm.
What's your special power or ability?
I think Malachite's loss of his eyes and basically the eternal torment in darkness, or maybe seeing things that he didn't want to see. His sensation for taste has become more advanced and more sensual, and I think using the imagery of him naked, wearing the cross, standing there, and starting to lick the floor and the body of the victim is, I think, a very nice imagery.
Okay, perfect. All right, so that's choice 3. Let's jot that down. Okay. Well, you said you take in the environment tactilely, so you get some emotions from this, or most of the things that you get from this lady on the ground. There's hardly been any happiness. It's all been her life, as you just feel, has just kind of been wrought with just bad thing after bad thing. Always kind of taken advantage of. Always, maybe given a glimmer of hope every kind of once in a while, but always at the end of it all, just put down. And life was never kind. And at the end of it all, just this, even though when we kind of put it in perspective, when both of you kind of crawled into this world, there was a little bit of pain, but a little bit of reprieve of finally it's over. That's what you feel from this poor soul. And then we'll put the final touches on these characters. For your attributes, since you are in this current state of just crawling out of Inferno, there's some parts of you that are human, kind of resemble that, but there are other kind of stats at this point where they're not so nice, which kind of represents mostly in the kind of reading people in this world, situations that come up that were normal to you before, but you've completely forgotten how to act in these situations. So kind of more of the social skills you're not so good at. So for fortitude, reflexes, and willpower, you can assign +2, +1, and 0 in that order. +2 for fortitude, +1 for reflexes, and +0 for willpower. And with your experiences, your perception based and reacting to situations is pretty strong, actually. So for coolness, you get +3, perception +1, and violence is +0. And for the last 4, charisma, intuition, reason, and soul, -2 for every single one of them. And if you kind of get your memories back as we kind of go along, these might increase depending on the situation and kind of what happens. And you have, usually when a kind of character is kind of being built, there are 3 advantages and 2 disadvantages. But in this horror starter, they kind of keep it kind of simple. So there's 1 advantage and 1 disadvantage. So the advantages: life beyond death, the purgatide, which are Delilah and Malachite, we're tortured and wretched creature that lives beyond death, and they take advantage of one of the following abilities. They are: you can take +1 to endure injury from piercing based things. Secondly, you can choose you suffer no negative modifiers from taking wounds. Third, you don't need to eat, drink, or breathe, but you may still do these things, as you might find them comical or just by habit. You may suffer 1 other critical wound for a total of 2 in total, as opposed to dying after 1. So a little bit more stronger. Or you don't use the stability tracker. All nice choices. Which ones would you choose? Sorry, which one?
Well, um, I don't think I would use the stability tracker. I think I'm already, well, insane.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I've when I read that one, I'm just like, that sounds interesting. All right, so
Hmm.
you use the
Just
stability tracker.
consistently broken, always broken.
Always broken. Perfect. What about you, Mr. Malachite?
um, I also thought about this one, but I feel like it's more fitting for him to have the +1 to endure injuries, as he maybe likes the pain, as it fuels his love for life itself.
Perfect. All right. And in this horror starter, they present a disadvantage called the Visage of Inferno. Uh, you bear the Visage of Inferno. The illusion will usually hide your true nature, but sometimes people may glimpse of who you are. This is especially true for children, animals, and those close to enlightenment, or those lost in their insanity. So, at the beginning of this session, in this horror starter, the GM or storyteller starts with 3 holds. That's how this advantage is kind of, or sorry, advantage for the GM, disadvantage for you, kind of starts to help bring the story along. So I won't give any of those away, but I do start it off. I do have 3, not not uh, not hard moves, but so I think they call them soft moves or holds. Sorry. Okay, um, that is it for the character creation. We have old creepy Delilah and the menacing Malachite. Are both of you happy with? Are both of you happy with your choices you've made?
Yes, my precious.
um, I kind of feel like Delilah, maybe after realizing that she needs to wear other people's skin, she might put the coat down and take the take the knife. What kind of knife was it again?
It's like a small box cutter.
Cut a
A
knife.
box cutter. Yeah. I think she would take the box cutter.
Okay,
It's important to
perfect.
open these bags of blood, these meat bags of blood, to let the fluid out.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to eat. What about you, Malachite? Are you happy or want to change anything with you before we start the first introductory scene in this horror starter?
No, I'm happily creepy about Malachite. Naked, skin protruding, weirdness, hollowed eyes. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'll take it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Here we go. You stand in a vast subterranean chamber of concrete and shadows. The air is thick with acrid scent of fumes. Flickering fluorescent lights cast a sickly glow, revealing a handful of large metallic contraptions placed within white lines on the ground. There are shallow puddles that mirror the ceiling's erratic light, rainbow sheens of oil swirling on their surfaces. The dripping of unseen water echoes somewhere. The remnants of the woman who was your gateway to this world, a mass of torn flesh, shattered bone, and blood soaked rags, is at your feet, and you are smeared in her blood. What are your first interactions in this new world?
I I think I'm inspecting the the woman that we crawled out of. Um, I'm kneeling on the ground and kind of putting my eyes really close to her face and inspecting if she's worthy of me taking her skin. Ultimately, I don't think she is.
Okay. You stand there, and like you said, you go over, you kneel down beside her, um, but you try to interact with her, but it's something the world is attempting to conceal. Not like not what happened to her, but even yourself. The descriptions you kind of gave me before of no fingernails and tattered hair. It's hard for you to keep that view of what you described to me as it slowly disappears. Is probably the best way to say it. You look down, your hair becomes fuller. Um, you look down at your hands; they have the nails are appearing again. Um, it's like you're being dressed up by the world around
Mm,
you. Um, you have to really like you if you really concentrate and you look down, you can see what you really are. But it's this city. Why is it doing this to you? You're beautiful, but it's making you not beautiful, at least in your current frame of mind. And
mm,
you're just you're the pools of blood go away, your wounds disappear, and you still stand there naked, but in with this new skin that you've kind of put on. You've taken the outward appearance, and even your voice has kind of changed from this raspy kind of up against a cheese grater kind of voice to this like really soft and sensual like woman's voice.
mm,
Uh, but the pain is the pain that you felt from those wounds that you know are still there. They're just being hidden or covered up. Those are still there. You and that kind of reminds you that you are indeed still a tortured. You are a kind of tortured soul. But um, as you take one kind of last final look, as whatever you do, you like the smear of blood goes away, and you're just looking at yourself, and yeah, you're just standing there naked in this new. Uh, you don't even recognize yourself anymore.
mm.
Malachite, what do you do in these first moments?
It needs to taste the world. I forgot the taste of the world. It's been too long. He'll bend down almost animalistically and, first almost like bathe in the blood of that he finds around him, shower himself, so to speak, and just taste the world around him. And I think he might be even curious about who Delilah is, and maybe accidentally lick her feet as he's kind of going over the remains of the body on the floor, and look up, very devote from underneath her. We are free again once more. Can you taste the fresh air? The sulfur is gone. I need to see the light, the sky, the openness, the freedom. And I think he'll then venture over to explore the room and see if he can get out and or see the sky above him.
Yeah, and kind of that old familiarity kind of hits you as you kind of walk around this concrete structure, a little bit dilapidated as it is. Um, your ears attune, and even when you kind of go down and lick Delilah's feet, um, everything's changing for you as you kind of even kind of stand there and you know, you enjoy what you look like, you enjoy the being you are, or at least this is the only thing you can remember. But parts of you, your deep sunken eyes, as you kind of look at yourself in one of the watery puddles that are kind of formed from the drops of water from the ceiling to the ground, you look at yourself, and even you're being covered up. Your sunken eyes are gone. You have eyes again, full head of hair, still naked, but a little muscular, and the wounds of previous are being hidden, taken away. How does that for both of you actually? What is that to you? Like, do you think you're both beautiful now, or it's just
Oh yeah.
don't want to look like this?
I think he's taken in awe by this as he sees the transformation. I think he's like Narcissus, leaning down to the puddle on the ground, seeing his face as it once was, the hair, kind of pulls at it and feels the tension, goes over his smooth skin, he feels his muscles. I think this is enough for him to start to cry even a bit and kind of lose the momentum that he had, because he believed he had to be an animal and a tortured soul, but now regaining humanity, his behavior becomes more human.
I think Delilah is at first the appearance of this new self causes her to panic, and she, you know, plays with her hair, and I think she's just saying, no, 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 I'm beautiful. They told me it was beautiful. I and she might take the box cutter and start to try to cut her new skin the way that it was before. No, no, it must be the same. Why are
Roll.
you changing?
Roll, keep it together, please. We'll make our first roll of the game to see
Ooh.
how you react to this. See what happens.
Sounds good.
Both of us?
Just her.
Okay. I think if I hear this, I might look up, and I actually would like to try to block her from cutting herself. But let's see what you roll.
Okay.
Yeah, well, if you definitely see and hear that, you see her kind of take the box cutter. So while you're having those thoughts, and before she kind of gets there, you're trying to get there. Roll an act. I'll leave it to you if you want to do a kind of reflex-based thing, or you can roll a act under pressure.
Yeah, I think I'll try to reach for her, because he immediately calls out to you. Don't you see, we've been given an opportunity. In your life we can hide. We don't have to endure. We can become so much more now. We know what we had to endure, and we know what we can now live the life of. That is a whopping 5. But I think I'm just looking at my, it's like the moment, like, yeah, I want to do something, but also like, oh my god, I look so beautiful. Oh my god, my skin.
Yeah, and actually, I think that's a perfect for a roll of 5. Like you're just, you're so enamored by yourself that you just stop maybe like 2 kind of footsteps in, and you just Fuck, you're beautiful.
I am I not? I mean, like, amazing. Oh, Jesus.
All right, Delilah.
I got a 13 on my keep it together.
Okay.
So I think, well, in his attempt to help me, maybe I become obsessed with malachite.
Sure.
I totally understand. I mean, many girls would, and
Obviously,
it's just a natural
that's how
thing
this
to
works.
do. Yeah, of course.
And like with a partial success, yeah, we'll say that part of Malachite, like you said, you look over at him and you there's this feeling of just normal, be kind of like a head nod, but yeah, but that awakens something in you because the blade does go in just a little, and you do see a drop
Okay.
of blood from this new kind of skin coat that you have put on. It's kind of like a flashback. You see, you're back in this room. You see red blood spattered against white tiles. It is your, but you know it is your blood. The world is spinning for you. Then you're on the floor. Your hands are sticky. It is hard to breathe. And you try to reach for something. What was it? A phone? You need to call for help. Or a crumpled letter. You want to press it against your chest.
Hmm. I tried to reach for a phone.
Okay.
Probably my cell phone.
A
in
pink flip,
sparkly.
sparkly flip phone.
It's a pink sparkly. Not a flip phone. Well, what year is this?
2019.
2019. So yeah, it's an iPhone. Pink sparkly iPhone.
You go for it. You desperately tried to call anything. Who did you try to call?
I
With your hands going on it, just the screen. You try to tap it. You are able to get to the phone, but it's just smeared and it's just
bloody,
smeared in your blood.
it's bloody and sticky.
Yeah.
I tried to call my son.
Okay. You get the number in. You do try to call, but there are no bars where you are. You just get that, beep, 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 beep. And the call doesn't go through. And then you snap out of it.
You're right there.
But
Yes.
there was a little bit of panic in that. In what you remember, there was a little bit of panic, but at the end, when you're trying to make a call, there was this feeling of, you just remember feeling there was enjoyment, but that was replaced with a little bit of just pity. It's probably the best thing to say, but you can't remember anymore. How do you think that comes in turn to Delilah today? Like, what does Malachite see?
I think he would still see Delilah playing with her hair, whatever hair she has in this new body. It's probably shiny and lustrous, and it's not falling out the way it usually does.
No, it even looks like
Even washed it, maybe styled.
yeah.
She's playing with her hair, and even though she has eyelids now, her eyes are really wide. She doesn't remember to blink. She hasn't blinked in so long. And she'll tilt her head a bit and just kind of stare at you. I remember nice things, but then the nice things made me sad. Does that make sense?
I think I just look at you. I think I'm not sure, but there's a bit of I think even a I feel like there's just a sense of resemblance, remembering a good thing. And I think he even himself tries to remember something good, something happy, but he doesn't even know what good is anymore. Like the definition of good is kind of distorted.
Okay. Malachite, as everything is distorted for you, you had walked out just a little bit. Like you said, you wanted to kind of take in the environment, kind of see what's around. But you got enamored with yourself. But you hear just this roar. This it almost sounds like a roaring. Sorry for my roaring beast. It sounds like it's coming at you or just passing by. You feel the vibration in the ground as you feel it up above, just kind of go up overhead as the place shakes a little bit. You remember that sound. Just it's a cacophony as it just kind of echoes throughout this throughout this place. I think it used to be called a car, maybe. As you're kind of taking in these different kind of sensations as you've newly kind of born into this world.
I think
But-
yeah, go.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
I think that the sound of something rattling past is initially his fight or flight kind of jump up. He quickly kind of ducks behind the window or tries to get out of line of sight. He, his muscle tense. He looks quickly through the room, searching for an exit, because for him the sound of this rumble, the sound of this noise, yes, it might be a car, but it could be one of those machines that he survived for so much time and over again, and it's a bit PTSD that he's kind of trying to hide. And there's a bit of an attempt maybe to motion to Delilah, like, hide.
Did they find us?
No, he carefully looks over the edge, trying to get an idea, and listens carefully again, maybe then only making the connection that it's a car.
Yeah, you look
Hey.
over the side. You look over the side and you see it kind of disappear. It looks like it kind of goes up this elevated platform, and you see these bright rays of light come up to the floor you're on, and you just hear the roaring of this infernal beast machine just echoes throughout this floor of this structure. When you just quickly you just realize it's you look around, there's other kind of those things parked here, but this thing comes up, it turns, and it stops its approach. These rays of light are shown shown in your direction as the beast thing stops. The roar subsides and disappears. And you hear this as you see one side of it kind of fly open.
I like that sound. I'm gonna jingle that. Seeing this, I think he looks over to Delilah, his eyes wide in recognition. And I was mistaken. It's not them, but the living. They are people. Fresh blood out there in these.
Yeah. I think I miss them. I might be sad it's not them, but also not sad. Should we say hello to our
Hello?
new friend?
Yes.
Oh, hello.
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 Car door. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, no, he. This. Are you folks okay? Are you having some car trouble? Oh, sorry. Oh, you're naked. Why? Oh.
The human
Oh.
body is
Oh,
not
yes.
a shame. It's a glorious thing.
And you are not naked.
Yes.
No, I'm wearing clothes, and yeah, some human body is a glorious. Okay. Are you two okay? What the fuck are you on? Are you all right? Do you need help? Do you need some help? Where's your clothes?
We're on the ground, as you are.
Yes.
On the ground.
We are here.
We have ground underneath our feet. That's.
And
You
there's
guys are wasted.
sky. And yes, we need help.
I have some. Yeah, I have some clothes in the back of. I have some workout clothes. Don't mind me, miss. I'm not looking. Not looking.
Okay.
Malachi, I think, not really bothered by the comment that he's naked, will exit and follow him to the car and to the back and approach him, basically.
Yeah, he walks back toward the back of this infernal beast contraption, and you remember, car. Yeah, car.
Yeah,
And
I let
you
my
kinda get
hand kind
clo-
of graze over the chassis as I walk past and get the sensation, the feeling of this shiny, flat surface.
Yeah, and he's just like, listen. If you two are having a good time, I'm not going to interrupt, but please don't touch my any. He's looking down, and where you kind of taken your hand and kind of brought it along, you've just left this. Like, you look at your hand, there's nothing on it, but when you've taken your hand and kind of brought it along the side of this infernal beast thing, you just left a long line of blood, and he just looks, and for a second he goes, what the hell is, and then he looks at you, and then he does a double take.
I'm gonna follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to follow, and while Malachi is feeling the car, I'm gonna get very, very close to this man. Like very close, and just stare at him
Yeah, Malachite is
and
looking.
touch my hair.
In the meantime, I will be looking at the reflection in the window
You
and
have
draw a smiley face.
you have beautiful skin.
Uh, uh, uh,
I I can smell your blood
that's nice,
through
lady.
your
That's nice.
skin.
And then he kind of looks over at you, Malachite, and this is when he kind of does the double take. Like, he doesn't see the new and improved you. You think he sees the old you, and as you kind of look in the mirror reflection, you see your old self. And when you look at him, Delilah, like you said, you come up and from if I'm picturing this the right way, you've kind of come up, you're doing your hair, and you might put your head on his shoulder as you kind of do the, kind of move around, and
Yeah.
you're looking at him in the eye, kind of thing.
I'm looking up at him. Your skin, I can hear the blood going through.
Yeah, and he's just like,
It's
you can
amazing.
just see that he's trying to scream, but it's like
Mhm.
it's like it's bottled up inside, just like something just about to pop. Um, but Malachite, when the trunk is open and there's these containers inside, and there's this smell that's familiar, and it triggers a memory for you. It's the smell of the oil that kind of brings you into this kind of flashback moment of maybe who you were, kind of thing. Um, one sec here. For you, you go back and you remember yourself. You were pushing a shovel into the soil. Um, it's dark. If it's in the middle of the night, the hole is lit up with a flashlight laying on the ground beside it. You look down inside. You see the worms wiggling in the dark earth. You place something in the hole before covering it up. What did you place in the hole? Was it a diary, but the pages were scribbled and torn as if it was handled by a madman, or a vial of your blood and 5 black feathers?
For some reason, I had the idea of a VHS tape.
Sure.
I think it's a vial of my blood and a VHS tape, if that is permitted.
Yeah, sure. That is fine. What was on this VHS tape to kind of expand it a little bit? If you so like.
I think it would have been. God. I think it would have been a self-recording of me, kind of dancing in front of it and flexing my muscles, and just obsessed with my body. I'm getting somehow now the idea of the flashback to Hannibal Lecter or Silence of the Lambs.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill. Yeah, I think something like this. And it's damning in a sense, because I probably have been like a footballer or something, so I needed to kind of prevent or maintain a certain outward appearance, but this is kind of mine, and I'll treasure it, or I treasure it as a something important that I bury.
Okay, perfect. And this wasn't anything that it was an old kind of memory that happened in this world that you now realize that Delilah, you have already had this kind of recollection of that you used to be someone here, but now Malachite, you have that you kind of have that same feeling now. When you kind of come back, that it was the smell of that oil, the smell of what was in this trunk, and you don't remember what was in. You know there was something in the trunk of who you used to be, but you just can't bring it. You just can't bring that memory to the surface. And there's this person in front of you who's just what do you do?
I mean, Delilah's in front of him, and I think I will kind of corner him from the other side and gently put my finger on his lips. Don't scream. She likes it when you scream.
What do you do, Delilah?
Yeah. I have my head on his shoulder, and one of my hands is touching his face along with Malachite. The other hand is taking the box cutter and bringing it to his neck. Not fast or anything, just very slow. And I want to try to cut his throat.
What the fuck are you two? He just gets out that's just about to blurt out what does he do it actually? Roll an act under pressure, please, as he tries to get away before you have the chance.
Okay.
Malachite's reaction will be, "We are salvation."
Nice.
It is a privilege. That's 13. We have +3 to coolness, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. That's
Okay,
16.
So 16.
Excellent roll. Feel free to describe what happens. This is all you.
Yes.
Spotlight's on.
So I say, it is a privilege to be chosen. And I take the box cutter and just cut his carotid artery. And I probably do it. I do it very slowly. And then I look at Malachite. Would you
Blood
like...
just going.
Yep. Would you like to sample?
Yeah, I think he's already kind of moving forward, and how do you say? I think he wants to brace the body from falling, so like he kind of grabs him and gently puts him down on the ground, and as he does, he obviously starts to lick the blood from the chest.
It's quite the scene. Go ahead, Delilah.
Yeah, while Malachite is doing that, I think Delilah is humming a tune. Something from before. She can't really put her finger on it, but she's kind of humming and dancing around the car. Just touching the car.
Yeah.
Making circles around it. And yeah,
you're just having a grand old time.
Just reveling in
Yeah.
in the newness of everything.
Yeah. So it's just like you went on vacation and you experienced something for the very first time, something you've never had the opportunity, and now it's here for you, and you're just reveling in it all, and you're dancing around the car. This poor unfortunate soul just has his hands around his neck and just like trying to lead, like just his eyes are in terror as he's just trying to get out these last kind of gurgling words as Malachite just comes down and beside and just goes, and Uh, yeah, sorry for sound effects. And yeah, you don't you get much you get a little bit of a small sense of uh, small sense of who this man was. Uh, Looks like he's a not a grand life, but a mediocre one. Just actually, he just got off his shift actually from a maintenance worker at a nearby factory, and he was just on his way out actually, and yeah, nothing strong, nothing sad. Just one person in the wrong place at the more sound effects. Someone in the wrong place at the wrong time. Malachite, how you feeling when you just kind of his gaze has kind of gone from Delilah, but now it's just totally transfixed, and you can tell that he doesn't see new you. He sees beautiful
me.
you.
Yeah. I think he gently kind of reaches for his arms as he's trying to stop the bleeding, but kind of pulls them down so that, he bleeds out quicker. And he just looks at him with this almost empathetic and calming expression. It will be all right. You don't have to suffer it anymore. The pain that you go through every day, through this job that you say you hold. Oh, don't worry. It is all over now, and pleasure awaits so much.
And his gaze is just transfixed as you're saying these last final words, and he passes, and his eyes are just stuck shut in terror at what he sees. You were the last thing he sees in life, and but you know where you know where he's going. A soul for the Weaver.
Yes.
And actually, when he does pass, both of you feel this. So it's almost like if someone took like a searing cattle prod and put it in the middle of both your backs. You just feel this like intense pain. Uh, that reminds you of your time in torture land, and you just feel it, and it comes very sharply and subsides in just a few moments.
Oh, beautiful. Tell me, Malachite, was he wonderful or ordinary?
Everyone is wonderful. It's just how you see them. They all have beauty at heart. And the heart is beautiful too. Flesh and blood beating. He's almost salivating in that moment, and there's like expression of happiness in his face as he kind of looks at you. We can't send him alone. He needs a friend.
A friend. There must be more friends here.
And
Yes.
there must be. And when that kind of pain subsides, both of you kind of get this feeling of hauling, being hauled. It's like you didn't know why, or you like I said, your memories of why you've kind of crawled back into this world. Did you escape? Was it a task? Was it just, or were you summoned? That becomes a little bit clearer now as that kind of pain in the middle of both your backs kind of subsides. You feel like you were kind of you wanted to get away from the torture. You wanted to get out of everything. But all this reveling in what's happening now, maybe that was part of maybe time is different everywhere. It feels like it's been forever since you've lost those feelings. So maybe it was this time of this person in front of you who has just passed, just you kind of bringing back those old feelings, like maybe, just to make this place, even though it's brand new but old at the same time, um, uh, just bring back a little piece of home kind of thing.
Mm.
Something you're used to, but something did help you something did help you escape from your pain and torture. And
Mm.
it's here in this place, in this place of lights and growling beats and different machinery that is just looks completely strange. But whatever helped you out is here.
You
And it
feel
wants
it.
to meet and it wants to meet you. It wants you.
You feel it too, Delilah? You feel the pull?
Oh. Yes, yes. There's somebody who wanted us. Wanted
As a
us
friend.
here. Wanted
He
us.
wants us as a friend, doesn't he? Yes.
Yes. Yes. But he's not a friend of our mistress.
Not a friend of the mistress, you
Is
say?
that okay?
Oh, it is a shame, but... Well, maybe we can make them friends.
Make them friends. I think he would like mistress if he just went down and met her.
Yes, he needs to understand the glory of herself, of her presence, the joy she brings. And I think in the same time, he's already kind of pulling up his new friend and shifting him into the trunk of the car.
Nice.
I want to keep this one with us.
Should we wear these? What did he call them? The things for the clothes. Clothes.
Yes.
Shall we wear the clothes? He was very he's very awkward about our forms
Yes.
and them being not clothed.
He pulls out one of the sweatpants or, a spare set of clothes that he has in the back and looks at them puzzled. Probably puts on the pants over his arms and then just...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about one size too small. They're blood red with these white things down the side. You're like, it's like blood and you don't know, but you're like, yeah, you don't know what it is. It's this really smooth kind of stinky, came out of this like cylindrical sack thing. You're like poking, it smells awful.
Yeah, I'll after probably it takes me a good minute or so, but I'll at some point put them on, and it's more like vanity that he, once he's kind of dressed, he'll look at Delilah. Do I look good? Do I look nice?
Delilah will really think about it, and she'll circle you a couple times. Yes, I think you do. I don't need to ask. I look beautiful.
He just smiles brightly at you, nodding.
Well, so I think we need to go find our friend. And she's going to do some sort of weird skipping motion. It looks very awkward, maybe a little bit like an Elaine dance sort of skipping, but like she'll start wandering off somewhere. Friend, we're looking for our friend. Is our friend here? Friend.
I think Malachite follows her, also with a jump in his step, swinging arms on his side in his new dress.
I try to mimic what what Delilah's doing, or
Yeah,
you just like
I think he's trying to, but it doesn't end so like it's not as graceful as her elegant movement. At least he sees it as elegant movement.
He interprets it as elegant.
nice. All right. So jolly trotting as you do outside into search of this new friend that you feel like is calling to you, but you don't know where he is. You emerge from this parking garage. That's what it is. Cars parked here. That wasn't. That's not an infernal beast. That's a car. And yeah, silly. You emerge from this parking garage and step into this urban night for the first time since your infernal exile. The air caresses your skin like the edge of a razor blade. It carries a disconcerting cacophony of scents, exhaust fumes, rotting garbage, greasy food, oil leaked by the cars, and the clothes worn by the people in this city. Your vision blurs with the amount of just light from flickering signs, vehicles, and the round the clock open stores. It is too much as you come out into this new world. From somewhere up the street, a haunting melody drifts on the night air. What do you do?
Delilah, at first, she'll come out of the parking garage and then just immediately kind of shrink and maybe put her hands over her ears. It's there's lots of things here. There's so many things.
I think that's a good spot to roll. Keep it together if you don't mind.
Sure.
Me too, or
How does before you give me the roll there, Delilah? How does Malachite react to this? You know, it's just like in terms, it's like you've just walked into a rock concert that's just gone off, and everyone's it's just hysterical. But you know, it's the lights, it's the sound of the cars, it's the people, the white noise, everything. It's just like.
I think especially after having lost his eyes in Inferno, the cacophony of sounds and sights is, even though it hurts and he probably squeams, but a bit of joyful squeam as he enjoys the sound of pain and the excitement around him, the overstimulus, that's the word. But he certainly, yeah, he's taking it all in as if there will not be a tomorrow, so he needs to see everything. He needs to look into the sky. He needs to look at the lights and let the lights blind him. He's listening to everything, and a bit like, I think Delilah, you will see him kind of standing there and then just walking maybe further off into the middle of the street, kind of just lost in awe and amazement, just spinning in his red tracksuit, and yeah.
Okay, so in terms of these roles I'm asking for now, it sounds like Malachite is kind of opening himself up to everything. Just
Oh,
try
yes.
to see everything. So for you, I would like you to roll the move See Through the Illusion, because
Ooh.
you're opening yourself up. So I'll interpret that like that if you're okay with that. But on
Yeah.
Delilah's side of things, it's almost like you're freaking the fuck out. So I think I keep it together. It makes more sense here.
Uh, that is. What was. What modifier do we have on will? On
Willpower is soul. I think it was
soul? 0. -1?
Yep, 0. Let's see here. I think it was
-1, yeah.
Not a bunch of them had -2.
Or -2, yeah, that's true. Sorry, yeah, that's -2. Should
Okay.
get this clearer.
Before you tell me the result of that, we'll do Delilah first. Delilah, what was your how bleh, how did you do?
I got an 11.
Okay. How does
Yeah.
this affect you?
Mm-hmm. I hmm. I think that it will make me angry. I think I'm angry at all the things in this new place. Um, I was used to what was happening to me elsewhere, but now everything is dark. I think maybe I kind of expected to leave this place and go back to the white tiles, to the clean, nice white smooth tiles. Like I wanted to feel them underneath my feet again. And they're not here.
They're not
Why the fuck
there.
aren't they here?
But as you're thinking that and you look down, this little furry creature came from one of those small spaces between these two big concrete things. Uh, building, build,
Hmm.
something like that. And this little furry creature comes in and it runs across your feet, and it stops and it triggers another memory for you.
Hmm.
You're back in this white room. You're holding this furry creature. It's a rat. You're holding it in your hands.
Oh.
The fur is soft against your fingertips, and you can feel its warmth. Not as hot as where you were, but still. Um,
Hmm.
which one? What do you do? Did you feed it a nut and watch how it grabs it with its little hands and eats it? Or did you push a syringe into its eye?
Hmm.
Two completely common choices.
I'm gonna go for the syringe. Um, it's I needed to see what happened.
Well, with that, it was the catalyst. This whatever seeing this little furry beast thing at your feet. It was you remember most of who you are. You remember some kind of like the white floors. That was part of a medical laboratory.
Hmm.
You were a veterinarian? No, you didn't take care of these things. Um, you hurt them. You
Mhm.
remember some kind of it. You kept animals in cages. You caused injury, injected them, studied their reactions. But after the animal tests were done, you needed more data. You just needed more data. So you actually continued with humans.
Mhm.
Uh, Not approved studies by far. The on you,
You
you had to
don't
find
say.
Yeah, you had to find them somewhere. The unwanted. One of the days, one of them got free. And you know how you that was your one way ticket into uh, the
Mm,
endless kind of torture. One of them gut three cut
mm,
you deeply with a scalpel, and death pulled you down into the bowels of hell, where you were forced to crawl in front of your new mistress, the Weaver. Your memories are now awakened. And as this rat kind of continues off, um, it goes through this little puddle, and in the reflection in this puddle, um, you see, your new skin kind of meat suit. But when the rat goes through and it's disturbed and it settles again, um, you see your old tormentor. It's her. She sees you.
mm,
You weren't supposed to leave. She's trying to pull you back from where you're going.
mm.
She knows that someone pulled you into this world and you were not supposed to leave. What do you do?
Well, I am pretty sure I'm in very big trouble. Um, yeah, I think Delilah would. I think she would kind of giggle, actually.
Okay.
She would giggle and turn to Malachite. She's here. She sees us. We need to introduce her to our friend. We weren't supposed to go, but I think she would forgive us if we took her to our friend. We need to find him.
And apologies, Malachite. I forgot I got you to roll for something, but I can't remember what it was.
See through the
Cool.
illusion.
Yes.
Singing. Oh, not singing in the rain. Standing in the streets. Um, I rolled a total of 10 after all the
10?
modifiers. Yep.
Okay. Kind of that. It's when Delilah kind of looked up at you and she was looking at you and said, she sees us. She knows we're here. Um, Maybe an offering. But when you're looking at Delilah, um, just like in all these other kind of things where everything just for those new in the audience, kind of, and if you've seen movies like Silent Hill and stuff like that, um, the everything around Delilah just behind her just kind of rips apart, and there's this tear, and it's almost like if someone had taken a zipper and just kind of pulled it down in midair. And Malachite, you see, where you came from, or where you now know you escaped from, and you see uh, your tormentor. She's there. She is close, but you feel she can't get through. She doesn't have that power. But you see something kind of try to get through, or this thing that's trying to break through and come and bring you back, because you yourself, both of you two, were not supposed to leave. She had so many things left to do and to try. It was not nice that someone took you away. And this creature thing, it's about 7-8 feet tall, um, muscleized flesh beneath this skeleton of shards of just just uh, sorry, this you know um, human body muscle thing baked beneath this kind of metalish um, thing of metal. It looks like it's kind of holding all the meat pieces together. There's tubes going out from various places, going in and out, and these liquids flowing around. It looks like it's just maybe one of your experiments, Delilah, but in terms of merging technology with flesh, but not done with the nicest things. This thing is trying to break through, but the veil reconstitutes back, and you two are standing there as you hear this horn as one of these cars kind of go by and barely miss you, as you two are ended up out in the middle of the street, and you just hear, get off the street, you fucking idiot. And the world comes back into focus.
She's close. She's close. She's sensing us. She's missing us. But it's not our time yet. We have so much to do. We need to find our friend. We need to introduce them. She will not be as sour as she will be anyway. But if we bring her a friend, a new friend, she might be swayed. She might be. She might not use the hooks this time. She might just use the irons. Yes.
Yes. Let's go find the friend. I think she will be pleased. If she's not pleased now, but she will be pleased. And if we can convince them to I don't know, that there's so many options. Let's go. Let's follow. I don't know. Let's follow the music. Do I still hear the music?
Yes, you do. It's almost like it's floating in the air. Like it's not coming from any specific point, but it's almost like the easiest thing would call it just be like it's like a beacon or just a feeling of yeah.
We must follow this music, and we will be forgiven.
Question mark.
Yeah, I think he looks at you curious when you say forgiven. When there's no forgiveness. But he just ignores it and is curious about the music that you mentioned, because for him, I think everything is sound, is music in a form. But he'll just look at you and says, yes, let us find friend. Friend will help.
Friend. I think I'm singing friend to the music that I hear.
Yeah, and you get a couple strange views as you kind of go along. All right. I think that'd be a good point for a 5-minute stream break, if that's okay with you two. And
Sure.
Yep. We're
Hello, and welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Just a short intermission. All right, so we're more than halfway through. Probably get another hour or so. All right. So one thing I just wanted to for Delilah, when your memories came back, you've pretty much, depending on how you want to do it, you've completely like if you want to like you pretty much
Mhm.
regained your like 75 to 80% of who you were. So like your humanity is
Okay.
kind of back. So completely up to you
Mhm.
as kind of how you want to play Delilah going forward. Like the stuff you've done in kind of both renditions of Down in
Mhm.
Hell and who you were before that. So yeah, just
Okay.
yeah, and Malachite's still in a kind of being of just kind of coming out of this yeah, I need to find
Mhm.
friend.
Well,
What
we
would you
do.
folks like to do?
We are otherwise too lonely on this forsaken planet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think. Oh, good.
Um, I think as we're following the music, Delilah is starting to remember who she was, but it's still maybe it's still a little like deja vu, or it's it's coming back to her but slowly. So it's hard to really um grasp who she was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming back just slowly.
Okay. And for you, Malachite, you kind of as you two kind of are walking down, um, and maybe you're more following Delilah as she's just talking about this music, and you're kind of intertwined with just how you're how you're kind of feeling. But it's you've kind of gotten past the point of sensation overload. Um, it's not the feeling of things being alien are kind of slipping away as you kind of spend more time walking down these streets, um, uh, listening to the different sounds, seeing the different kind of people, how they interact with each other. It is a busy. It's nighttime. It's nighttime here. Um, People themselves, they're used to trotting through these various streets during the nightlife. They know how to kind of weave and kind of go through and not bump or knock into each other. um, you Both of you knew how to do this before, but it's almost a little bit clumsy for you two as you kind of you bump shoulders as you're kind of walking down the street, or it might piss someone off because you've stepped on their feet or toes as you're kind of walking by. But you eventually, after go at least for an hour or so, going through some busy parts of this light filled, neon signed, fume smoke filled town. You eventually get your stride back. And one of the things that like people like what you look like beneath this, you know what you look like below what this world has kind of the fake skin that they've kind of portrayed, uh, you know you know the real Delilah and the real Malachite. It's hidden. um, this illusion has kind of made you blend in. um, Whether you think it's beautiful, or sorry, whether you think you're beautiful or you prefer the old you, that's completely up to you as you kind of get going. But you get that feeling the more you move toward or follow the music, the more that area on just below the bottom of your at the top of your back, the bottom of your neck. The more you kind of move away from her and toward wherever you're going, it hurts just a little bit more. Like you kind of being pulled in two different directions, and everything's
Mm.
just so new and livid and lively here that uh, you may not want to go back or go back at all, and you want to stay here and grab the sensations of everything. Um, as these what seem to be hours go by, uh, what what's going through the mind of Delilah and Malachite? Are you still skipping down the street, singing your hair? Are you stopping at every store side shop, Malachite, and nammering and kind of all your alabaster coated skin and all this other stuff? What's going on?
Uh, I think as we go along, Delilah is becoming increasingly more focused on the music. She's no longer humming it or trying to sing to it. She is just trying to follow it and feeling feeling the separation from from her mistress actually starts to feel good. She she likes to feel the separation. She wants to, now that she remembers her work, she is really focused on continuing it. And if this new person can help her do that, then all the better. But yeah, I think the biggest reason why she was so plagued by her death wasn't even really the torture or anything of that sort, is that she couldn't continue her work.
Like,
So
totally.
now she's just trying to drag Malachite, and um, she doesn't really care what he's doing. She's just trying to stay focused. Like, we need to follow this music. We need to leave. We need to go and find this new friend.
What about Malachite?
Yeah, I think he trots along, and at some point, the sing song is kind of getting boring to him, but he'll certainly get drawn into window displays, into um, the various neon lights of the night, people in shady corners in restaurants and bars and buildings. The general kind of feeling of life and happiness around him is I think it's curiosity. It's like, for him, also a realization that maybe this is their hell. They are suffering by being happy, by having so much fun, because who would endure this all the time? Who could stand being happy? Who wants to be loved and enjoy? And no, where's the pain? Where's the suffering? Where's the true sensation of feelings that one needs to go through to understand what feelings are? This is all a bit beyond what, or not enough what he would have expected. And so he pretty much is like a little child who just stops at every window and kind of just looks through it, and maybe occasionally kind of looks at a couple at a dining table or something, and just like with wide eyes, and yeah, occasionally licking his lips in. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where I see him kind of following Delilah along, and occasionally just pointing things out, like, "Oh, look at this! It's shiny. It's beautiful. We could, so many friends."
Malachite, no. And I think she's talking to him kind of like a dog at this point. Like, Malachite, no, we need to leave. Come, Malachite,
Yes.
we must go.
Yes, I come. I follow. You lead, I follow. But I miss friend.
this one particular shop that he kind of was just enamored with. You grab onto him, you grab his arm, and you kind of push him forward a little bit, like, we gotta find. And you go by this, you see this. No one's really been paying attention to you two. Like, everyone's just going about their lives, concerned with what's going on, on social media and other things like that. But you walk by this one homeless man. He grabs onto your ankle, Delilah. He has this kind of hat that's kind of pulled down over his head, and he's just kind of dressed in tattered clothes, and he just grabs onto your ankle.
Disgusting creature, let go of me.
Malachite immediately kind of jumps him, kind of. I think in a weird way that he pushes him away, but then kind of launches over him with his hands on his shoulders, and kind of his face really close up to the man's face, and just stares at him, wide eyes, and just, "Do you want to become our friend, or do you let us leave?"
You jump on down and over, pretty much going right by Delilah, and you want to look into this man's eyes, but he doesn't have any. They're sewn shut, and his hand is still on Delilah's ankle. And he, if he had eyes before, he looks straight at you with whatever he doesn't have, and he just, in a very kind of raspy voice, I don't need anything. You need everything to stay here. You are not. You're not supposed to be here, and you as well. I sense it. She misses you. She's close. You two are both fucked.
I look at him, and I think he's putting his finger across the shut eyes and feels the individual stitches. Maybe also in a bit of remembrance. What do we need to stay here? You said we can stay. We need a friend. Our friend allows us to stay here.
Your friend? Your friend, the one, oh yes, the one who hauled you here, birthed you into this interesting place. He's close. She knows.
What do you know of him?
She knows, and he points at you. You say friend? He's a friend.
I know this person.
You don't remember? And he looks at you with no eyes.
Tell me now, disgusting creature.
How rude. I'm not telling you anything. You'll figure it out. You will. And he lets go of your ankle and just kind of, slumbering away. If Malachite has let go.
No, he's on him like a like a shepherd dog, and he's just looking at Delilah, like waiting for command, basically.
We need to go. I don't think this creature's skin is worth it. She starts to leave.
I feel like he will resist, but he can't stop his urges, and he will lick the man's eyelids.
Will he let you? That's the problem.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, roll a act under pressure or violence. Up to you.
I'm not violently licking his eyelids.
Is it not violently?
Well, it is with passion, but it's not. That is, yeah, that's even with a. Well, wait, actually, with a. That brings me to a 9. Whew.
Still a fail.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I know.
So, oh, that's all right. All right, so you try, like, you know how he's starting to walk away. So you put your hands up on, one underneath his jaw, one on top of his head, and you do what you've done many of times. You're like, I wonder what this thing tastes like, and you go to get a sense, but what's on you. This being what is hiding something, his true self, and it is a lot stronger than you, and hell, maybe even more powerful, maybe even more powerful than your tormentor. And you just instinctively just kind of let go, in not cowardice, but just fear.
Oh yeah,
As you hate,
fear and
as
awe, I would say.
yeah, and with that, you kind of fall to the ground, and it invokes another memory for you.
Ooh.
This plays on part of your the first memory was you pushing a shovel into soil in the middle of the night, and you had put your vial of blood and the VHS tape into the ground. It's a little bit further past that. It's later on in the evening. You are laying on the mattress on a floor. You are engaged in cardinal acts with the person, but the person you are with is on top of you. The act is reaching a climax. Suddenly, you just scream, "Why?" The person's face has distorted into something that looks very, very, utterly unhuman, or you use all your force to stab a knife between the ribs of that person. What do you think you did?
I think I'll use the knife in the ribs.
Okay. And this for you awakens your true self. You had when in your previous life, you had a pact with dark forces, which would kind of make sense for Malachite. Um, you have always known there is something out there in the dark, and you have called to it, summoned it, made a pact with it to gain insight and power, and you got everything you asked for, but the pact needed to be paid. Your soul was the cost, and at your death, you were dragged down and held to serve your mistress. Your memories are now awakened. You were a slave before and a slave to your mistress now. Why did you leave? This person that, or whoever kind of brought you back, you're not supposed to be here. Now that you've known what you've done, the price you've paid, it looks like it's inevitable. She's coming to get you, and you know that she'll never stop. What's Malshak thinking from that?
Well, fuck. Um, I think. Therefore, I am. I think that the smile in his face kind of stops. His maniacal giggle just falls flat, and he just stares on the ground for a second, looking at dirt and debris, thinking that he's not really much more than the dirt on the ground, being in the position he's in, that there is no hope, no other sense but to serve her as he's always done and he always will. There is nothing he can do. And he certainly, just becomes a bit tired and exhausted about having had the feelings of joy and happiness and excitement. I think that's
pretty much ripped away.
Yeah.
Okay. Delilah. You look over at Malachite, gone from his, just fell kind of backwards off onto the ground. And, the happiness and the every new experience is a brand new cheap thrill. Just kind of standing there. What do you do as you look at him in his kind of subdued state?
I turn around impatiently. Malachite, come. We must go now. What's wrong with you?
There's no sense. There's no meaning. He just starts to mumble stuff. He follows, but very begrudgingly and kind of slacking behind. You certainly notice the change in his demeanor, and next to you, he just mumbles things.
Delilah does not give a shit as long as you're following her. Yeah.
Okay. He follows you like a little puppy dog.
Sad
You're
puppy
close.
dog.
As he
Sad.
should. As he should.
Stay in line. And the crowd is taking S&M to a new level. Excellent. And you two eventually, it's just a few blocks away. You get to this. You've kind of gone away from the livelier part of town, and have kind of brought up to this. Looks like it's a tattoo shop with on the bottom floor. It's a 2-level structure, and there's looks like there's an apartment on the top. Very dim lights coming from the apartment. All the windows have some kind of, they're not bought curtains or anything like that. It's like a bed sheet there, a flag in that window, and really kind of cheap ass music kind of coming out through. And it's probably about middle of the night. Stuff has kind of calmed down a lot. And but whatever happening up in that apartment, it's where that kind of music is coming from that you've been following.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no time to waste, so I will be going up to that apartment. I don't think I care at all about niceties or anything like that. So I'm not going to knock. I just, I I need to go to where this music is coming from, and that's it.
What about you, Malachite?
Yeah, he. I think with standing in front of it, there's a brief moment where he might consider that if this friend is not enough to keep him here, but well, he made it out, so the man was just lying. Maybe she knows how to keep me, but I clearly made it out. So if I can do it again, I might have a chance. And if friend is there too, and I can leverage him to her, then maybe there is a hope. And there's this kind of blood fury almost kind of starting to collect in him, where it's like, well, I got nothing else to lose. I know I'm a slave anyway, so yeah, might as well fuck this. So yeah.
All right. So there's this side. You try the main door in the front. Besides the tattoo shop, it's like one of those things where it has a dwelling entrance on the main floor.
Mhm.
It's unfortunately locked, but there is a fire escape on the side that goes to one of the kind of half-open windows. So you go up there, and definitely not a well-kept place. Run down, shoddy furniture. It's a mess. Food on the table, uh, dishes piling out of the sink. Like the living area is it's an kind of open concept living kitchen area with a small single hallway that kind of goes down the way, and that's where at the end of that hallway, in one of those in the only kind of closed door room, is where where that kind of music is coming from. But you hear a lot of moans and groans coming from that room.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a woman on a mission, so I'm going through this disgusting living room. I guess I've been in more disgusting places, but
I just wanted to say, yeah.
still, the maybe the smell of like rotting food on the dishes in the sink is maybe like a new smell that
Well,
reminds me of, I don't know, being a human, and I know I'm supposed to be disgusted by it.
yeah. Well, give me an observe a situation if you don't mind, because there
Sure.
are, yeah.
Um, that is a 9. I don't know what the modifier is for
Modifier on that was
+1.
plus one.
+1. Ooh, okay. So 10. Just
Uh,
made it.
yeah. There's something off about this place. Feel free to ask me a question about
Hmm.
because even though it kind of looks like a rundown apartment kind of thing, there is something off about this place. Uh,
What is being hidden from me?
well, that's the thing. Besides, the dishes overflowing in the sink and just the rottiness of everything, what kind of draws your attention is it didn't catch your eye at first, but it's what's in the living room. Um, and Malachite, it's a little bit familiar to you too. You see this kind of wooden coffee table. Um, there's looks like something's being carved. The circle or what you had kind of brought in there before. It's something similar, kind of chiseled in, and it's just there's different implements. There's different kind of smelling incense. Some pieces of paper with like notes on kind of like this old kind of things, and for you, Delilah, there's almost like there's this, not a scent, but it's almost like a remnant of as you kind of walk by to go down the hallway. It's almost like a whispering in your right ear, and you hear the you hear you just hear like this slight sound of just like bunch of people all whispering over each other, trying to tell you something, but you can't
Mm.
you can't leech on to anything that any one of them is saying. It's because it's just too soft. But
Okay.
but this place feels like there's been power, there's been magic cast here, or some kind of unknown power to yourselves. The illusion is weak here.
Hmm. This must be the place. Um, is there a bedroom or other rooms?
Yeah. Noises of pleasure are coming from the only
Right.
room with closed door.
Okay. Well, time to interrupt whatever is happening in there.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
stomp my way over there.
You stomp away, and you bust. You you catch about you count about 4 people in the in the act, and all of them kind of like freak out. Like, a couple of them fall off the bed. They grab a bed sheet, kind of wrap it around them.
Mm.
You don't know any of them besides the one that's still laying in the bed. And at first he's like, "What the fuck? Who are?" And he just looks at you, and you can tell he's not looking at the skin suit you're wearing. He's looking at
Mm.
what's beneath, and you didn't even remember your name in your previous life. And he just kind of looks at you and Deborah, holy fucking Deborah, where the hell have you been? What? Yeah,
Hmm.
that sounds familiar to you. You remember that's what you were called in your previous life before you died.
Deborah. I don't know if I like it.
But you're supposed to be dead, not I, that,
Hmm. Supposed to.
but
Still am a little.
I was just drunk that night. Those people came and they said they wanted to do a just fucking do a ritual or something. I don't know. I, sh- you're here.
Hmm.
It it was just a joke. It was just holy fuck. You're here. I
I want to. Are you going to go to Malachite or?
I will stay here for a sec.
Okay. Um, I want to look at the other people um, who were involved in the orgy because I feel like this guy is not the friend we're looking for.
To you, you can't believe it, but you think he is the there wasn't kind of one bit of power or anything at all, but he was
Hmm.
he was the conduit. You have
Hmm.
you get the feeling, and you actually remember that he did the he was tasked with bringing you your test subjects,
Hmm. Gotcha.
and he was kind of like one of those people that you kind of pay on the side. He was down on his luck, and he kind of
Hmm.
brought them in for you to do your experiments. And
Hmm.
yeah, it was kind of like one of those, uh, you know, pay for things. I don't care. I don't want to know what you do with them, kind of thing. I just here,
Sure.
here, here you go.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll go.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go to Malachite here for a sec. Whatever Delilah's doing, you don't care. It's that table. It's part. It looks familiar to you. You don't like it.
I mean, I'll probably approach it and seeing what's on it, flip the table.
Like I said, the illusion is it's not that strong here. And when you flip the table, underneath where the hardwood floor is, there is don't lick it. It's almost rippling, and you see just down in this kind of rippling void. It's almost like you're looking down through a long, narrow black corridor, and at the bottom, you see the machinations and fire and everything that you are trying to run from. And there's a pierce in the veil, and you hear that, like, this circle kind of table thing was, you kind of get the feeling it was kind of a covering this up, or almost like a seal, and you've taken it and kind of ripped it off and ripped it open. And that thing that you kind of saw reflected back in one of the many shops, or when everything kind of fell down around Delilah, this beast behind it, Weaver, you see her and she sees you. And Malachite, you were never supposed to leave. Come back to me, for I will drag you back myself.
But you haven't even seen the gift that I wanted to bring you. I will bring you. I have it here.
You're my favorite. You were always my favorite. Delilah can stay wherever the hell she is. I don't want her. I want you.
I think that stuns him as like probably to hear these words that he is wanted, that he is a favorite. I think this really stuns him, and he's unsure what you just said. You mean it? I'm your favorite?
Whatever that companion of yours, Delilah, she's calling herself now, she is your ticket back. I want you. I do not want her. But your ticket back, you have to kill her. She was always not my favorite. You were. You can come back willingly and sit beside me. Be my favorite. Or I can come get you.
I think there's
You will not be my favorite.
I think by the time when he says kill her and sit next to me, like, he's already turning, looking for some implement, and I think what he do is he's grab one of the table legs, kicks it, and breaks it off so that it's kind of splinters, and leisurely but determined walks up to Delilah, and there's just this absolute strange clownesque smile and joyous
Delilah!
face.
Well, before that happens, Delilah was telling the other people involved in the orgy, like, oh, you and you need to leave now. Okay, I don't recall your name right now, but we have a lot of work to do. Like, she's instantly forgotten this new friend, and with the sight of this person who used to help her with her work, like, oh, okay, we have lots to do. I don't have a plan formulated in my head yet, but I need you to get me specimens again, and it will need to be many specimens, so many specimens, lots of specimens.
Delilah, unholy
And she's just kind of rambling on.
Yeah. And I think there, with Malachite with the coffee table ripped off in the arm, about to approaching Delilah, and Delilah going through everything,
Mhm.
I think that's a good place to leave it.
Mm.
And
I think Malachite's last words, kind of as he
Cliffhanger.
approaches, will be, "I'm her favorite," with a smile, and then lifting the table leg.
and Delilah just there. I need more victims. And
My work.
my work. And with that is the stream. Yeah, wait, no, PvP. That is a introduction to a horror starter. And in the name, it's a starter. It's not called a finisher, so that was never going to happen.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We'll leave it to the we'll leave it to the imagination. And once again, I'd like to thank Helmgast for giving us the opportunity to run this, interesting story from the other side of, kind of flip it around, and we were played the mythos, and it was definitely interesting. And I as a GM, it's it was a nice challenge.
Yeah.
There we are.
It is fun to play something besides a conventional human.
Yes. These feeble, weak-minded bodies of flesh.
Nice. All right. Yeah, and I'd like to thank Crystal and David for joining me in this wonderful stream that you all have joined or will check out at a later time.
Indeed.
Until then, I speak for everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.